Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of And Now You Know with Bette and Julz. I'm Bette.
And I'm Julz.
And we are so excited to be recording right now because we have been apart for a couple weeks. I've been traveling, and so we took a little bit of a hiatus. But I've missed her.
Oh, my gosh. Jay woke up this morning, and I was like, oh, my God, I get to see Bette today. And he was like, those people have no idea how lucky they were that you shared her with them.
I know. And I was gone.
I'm a Bette hoarder.
She is, but I love it, and it's okay. I was gone for about 2.5 weeks, and
it's been 3 weeks since we saw each other.
Well, yeah. Tomorrow is 3 weeks, actually. Yeah, so that's true. It was really awesome.
We had to go to lunch and have some time to visit and look at each other and
catch up on things.
Just hear all the good things that happened over the last 3 weeks for both of us.
Yep. So I was in Portugal, and then I was in Spain, and then I flew into Boston, which is where my family is. So I got to see my parents, and then drove cross country with my brother and my sister from Boston to Dallas. And then my brother stayed in town for a week to visit and to help me out with some stuff around the house. And it was amazing. And I didn't want him to go. And, it's been really awesome. So anyway, now we're here. Yep. And what were you going to say?
I was just going to say what I've been doing over the last
few
weeks.
I'm
really excited. I have been working on a book for years, actually. And over the past 3 weeks, I really found a format to consolidate what I've already written, and I think I'm going to have it done in about 3 weeks, and then I'm going to be able to send it to my editor and then publish, and it goes right along with what we're talking about on here, and I'm so excited about it, but stay tuned because I'm really excited about it. I really am.
Definitely stay tuned because right now we are in a season of finally doing all the things that we've been talking about for years. This podcast is one of them. We talked about this for years before we actually did it. The book has been a work in progress, and it's going to be really, really big. So that's one. There's a book that I have also wanted to write a book, but I haven't started mine. But it's something that will be coming also. And then there's some other projects that she and I are working on together, and so much is going on. So stay tuned and just join us for this ride. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I've literally got goosebumps right now because we were talking earlier about the assignments that God gives to us during life, and there's a window of time that you can make these things happen, and you can call it assignment or a dream, or it's just, this is what I really want to be doing. And I have several things in my life that I believe were assignments from God that I let the window close, and I'm at a place of this incredible peace. I have the enemy, I call him the devil, try to get into my spirit and my mind and tell me you can't do this. And I start having these waves of anxiety, but I just have to go back to a moment a couple of months ago when I was having that anxiety, and the Holy Spirit asked me, how did it feel when you were a little girl and you were with your dad and y'all were, and there were times we'd be out on the lake and the boat wouldn't start, or, there were times where I should have been scared, but I was with my dad, and so I knew everything was going to be okay. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if the boat started. It didn't matter if the car, it didn't matter. I didn't think about the roof over my head. I didn't worry about the money. I didn't even know there were bank accounts. I didn't know any of that.
Right.
And then God said very loud and bold, I'm better. And any love that we feel is true from anybody, and the love that we have for our children or other people is a representation of God's love for us. It's big, guys. Yeah. It's big. And so if you've got a dream inside of you, I really believe it's an assignment. And go do it. Get it. I mean, do it however you want. Do not let fear take over. Remember who you are. You are a daughter of God, the Creator, and He has so many promises in the Bible that are yours. They belong to me. They belong to you. And all we have to do is believe. So
it's so true, and I'm going to say something.
It makes me so excited.
I'm going to respond to this before we get into the topic today. But what's so funny about that is that I just had a birthday, and I feel like as the years over the last couple years, as the years go on, I feel like I'm finally letting go, like shedding all these layers of things that weighed me down before. And some of that was fear, some of that was anxiety. I remember I used to say all the time that I'm behind. Like I should already be there. I should have accomplished this by now. I should. I kept shoulding all over myself. And so now I feel
It's going to be
like
a t-shirt.
It is.
Merch.
It is.
I should it all over myself.
Yes,
I love
yes.
it.
And now I feel like I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And instead of being worried about or anxious about all the things that we want to do that we haven't done yet, now I feel like everything is falling into place exactly when it's supposed to. And now I have this unbelievable peace.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited about all this stuff. And I just feel like I'm not going to worry.
No.
I'm not going to worry because I literally I'm seeing when I think back and I all the things that I used to worry about and things that didn't go my way and went a different way, I look back and I see that everything worked out exactly the way that it was supposed to, regardless of what my plan was.
Right.
Regardless of how I thought it should have happened. Everything has always worked out for me better than it was supposed to. And so now I'm in a season of surrender. I'm in a season of flow. And I just want things to, I believe that they will perfectly line up and happen exactly as they're supposed to. So when she talks about peace, love, and joy, I feel that way. And I don't want to get myself into a tizzy and get myself all ruffled up. I don't even want any of that.
Well, that's what the enemy wants.
Yes,
he wants
what
to
you need
hijack
is
us.
the peace and the surrender and the belief that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, and everything will unfold, and everything is good.
Well, the enemy tries to hijack you into that place of anxiety and fear because that paralyzes you. And what we're doing, this is our passion project, and every single bit of it is infused with God's grace and His love and His all of the things that He wants us to have abundantly in this life. And so if the enemy can stop us, then we don't get to help anyone. Even if we just touch one life, then okay, mission accomplished.
Yeah, and the purpose, the entire purpose of everything that we're doing currently and that we want to continue to do, everything is about helping people from the experiences that we've had, and any way that we can love on, elevate, inspire, like everything is really positive. And so whether you call it God or the universe or divine guidance or whatever it is, like, for us, we call it God, and I also say universe, but for all of that, everything that we have been through, everything has brought us to this moment, which is why there were no mistakes in the past, because we needed all of that in order to be able to do what we're doing right now.
Right.
We wouldn't have this podcast, and we wouldn't have the topics and the experience and the wisdom to share had we not experienced that. And so that's where we are, and we're really excited about it, and there's so much more to come.
And even the confidence, because I'm not proud of the fact that I've been married 4 times. Well, I've been married 5 times. I've been divorced 4 times. Yeah. That is not something that I'm like going, woohoo, look at me. I'm a big shot. I got married and divorced 4 times. It's really my place of shame. But I also know that there are a lot of people out there who are so ashamed, because I was. And I just felt like God's arms were going like this. He was like, good Lord, I made a mess when I made you. But when I finally understood myself and took the time to put my mask on and pick me and heal, go on my healing journey, God had His arms wide open to me the whole time. It was never Him who had turned His back on me. It was me who was too ashamed to go to Him and accept His love and His forgiveness. So...
And for those of you, because if you hear her story and you resonate with it, of course, we're hoping that you feel like you're not alone. She has gone through it too, and there is support for you, and there is love for you, and there is grace for you. But even if you haven't experienced something to the degree that Julz has, even for me with my one divorce, I thought my one divorce was ultimate failure, and I remember thinking I'd rather be dead than divorced. Yeah. So even if, the one divorce or whatever the situation is, it doesn't even have to be divorce. It could be any other failure in your life that you feel like there's no coming back from it. That's not the truth. No. The truth is your life starts today. Yeah. And you can move forward from wherever you are and make something amazing happen. That's what we're doing, because everything in the past, when I felt like my whole life is a mess and it's just in shambles, and she felt the same way, and we decided to take the mess and turn it into a positive message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do that with anything.
Anything.
And it's just, it's important. It's important, especially if, like for me, we were going to talk about something else, but I think we're going to talk about this.
I know. Like literally the topic, maybe we should say what the topic was supposed to be, and maybe we should talk about it a little bit. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not. We're going in a totally different direction.
I think this is going to be called the Passion Project.
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever yours is.
Yeah.
But I
really, it's not too late. It's not too late.
It's never too late, ever. And I just know, honestly, how long have I been telling you I've been writing this book? Years.
I think the whole time. So we met in 2018, and I think we've been talking about it since we met.
Yes.
And so there's so much in there that the world needs to hear.
Yeah.
That is, I know for a fact. The timeline for her has moved a little bit, but what I know is true and what she knows is true is that she didn't go through all that for nothing. And
I'm not going to let it be for nothing.
Right.
No way.
There has to be, the message in it is so big and so profound and so meaningful for people that for people that everybody
it's exciting.
that
We're going to hit our mics.
Yes, there's so many things, and I feel the same way about what I'm sharing and the things that I'm working on to then share.
Yeah.
So it is going to happen.
And what's cool about it, and what you have to sit down and or lean back into, is that it's not your timing; it's God's timing,
right?
And His timing. And I've had it happen over and over and over in my life. When I'm sitting there going, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm going to go back years when I was 19 years old, and I was engaged to my first husband, and I knew that I shouldn't be marrying him. And we were meeting at my cousin's house to address the invitations and mail the invitations out to the wedding. And my mom came over there, and I'd gotten there early and talked to my cousin about it. And I said, I don't want to marry him. I don't want to do this. And she was like, oh, shit. Okay, well, we got to tell your mom when she gets here. So I'm going to get a glass of wine ready for her, because we had already spent thousands on dresses and tons of stuff. And but we were living together in an apartment. And so I told him the next day that I wasn't going to marry him and that I was moving out. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a place to live. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I went to work. I was working at a bank. I was a teller. And I was telling these group of girls that I work with what was happening and that I'm looking for a place to live. I didn't have any furniture. I had clothes. That's all I had. And this gal who was also, she was engaged, and she was like, oh my gosh, I've got the cutest one-bedroom house. I'm needing someone to sublet it. It was exactly in my price point. It had furniture. It had a bed. It had dishes. I'm about to cry. It was fully set up. All I had to do was take my clothes. It had towels, soap, everything.
See, this is the
I
stuff.
know it was God.
Yes, this is the stuff that we're talking about when you get out of God's way.
Goosebumps.
Right?
Goosebumps.
When you surrender and just be at peace. Like we were talking about this on a previous episode. We were talking about you shouldn't have to worry about anything.
No.
And when you do is when you screw it all up.
Yeah.
When you start getting anxious and start messing with the plans and start trying to, manhandle all the situations.
Well, you panic and you
panic.
You're like, oh my God, I've got to go work at Buc-ee's.
Right.
Which there's nothing wrong with working at Buc-ee's. It's great exercise.
We love Buc-ee's, and that's the thing we say, which is so funny. It's so funny. We have said that before, like when we're talking about, I don't want to do this, I'd rather do that. We always use Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's would be kind of fun.
Shout out to Buc-ee's,
I
because we
love
do love
it.
you.
And let me tell you, the Buc-ee's by my house has the best car wash.
Okay, so I have a Buc-ee's by my house, which is newer than hers, but hers is better than mine because hers has the absolute, you're right about the car wash, the absolute best car wash. And I think it's a little bit bigger, like the inside of the store.
Yes,
like I think it's
it's
bigger.
huge.
But if you have a Buc-ee's, if you have never been to a Buc-ee's, please come visit.
Yes.
It is a total destination. You have to go to one.
an experience.
It's an experience. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
The car
But
wash
anyway.
by my house is like a Six Flags ride, an amusement
it
park
is.
ride. It's got rainbows and the beaver going across your window. It's so
Yeah,
fun.
it
It's
is.
so fun.
It's so cool. It's
It's
cute.
fun.
Kids love it. And I say kids love it, but I love it too.
And
so.
I really would go work at Buc-ee's because they pay really well.
Extremely well.
They have a 401k. They give you PTO.
Okay, hold on. We are not
I'm not going to
doing
Buc-ee's. But the
This
thing
is not a commercial
no,
for Buc-ee's.
It's not. But they have fudge.
They are not sponsoring us. They are not sponsoring us. We're not talking about Buc-ee's anymore.
Okay, stop it. That is not our mission.
That is not our mission. It's not.
But it's funny because this morning when Jay and I got done with our devotion, I took a sneak peek for what is coming up tomorrow, and it is about you reap what you sow. And what's interesting is that sometimes what we're doing, I have to remind myself that I'm going to reap what we are sowing today. And this is our work. And, we've got some other things that we do. I don't have a true passion for it. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's a way to make a buck and pay my car payment. But
Well, the amount of time that we have been together, we have done so many different things, and primarily in real estate. So, we worked in title together, we worked in real estate together, and it's so funny because, I've had all these income goals, which I have attained.
Yeah.
And when I get to them, it's like, this can't just be it for me.
No, because it's
Like,
nothing. It's
'cause
not.
it hasn't
it's not
been
changing
the fulfilling.
anybody's
Yes,
life.
exactly. It hasn't been the fulfilling thing, and now I'm in a season where I don't want anything to disturb. This is where we are. We are both together in the same
And
place.
we are so aligned.
We are.
I
We
mean,
don't want the distraction. We don't want I don't want a corporate job. She doesn't
No,
want a corporate
I
job.
don't.
I don't want anything to distract me.
this.
Right. I don't want anything to distract away from what we're doing, where we're supposed to be. This podcast is a huge part of it. The other projects that we're working on, that's also a big part of it. And all of it has to do with making a positive impact in the world.
Yep.
And that is what we're called to do. So I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to. And I've been traveling, and she and I were just talking about all these amazing things that we're going to see them come to life. We're going to
They
see them happen.
absolutely are. We
Yeah.
just have to have the faith and trust the process and trust God and just He is our Father, and He doesn't just want to give you your basics either. He wants abundance for you. He wants abundance for me. He wants abundance for Betty. And it's so tricky to get to a place of surrender. And it's so tricky to grab a hold of your thoughts and turn them around the minute that a negative thought comes in.
Right.
And I still do it. I say, I trust you, Jesus. I trust you, Jesus. But now it's even a deeper conversation. And it's like, no, God, you are my Father. You love me more than anything in the universe. And the love that I feel from my own children is a teeny tiny fragment of what He feels for me and for you and for you.
Yeah.
We will never understand until we go into the other room and we get on the other side of this life. Our brains are too small to even fathom the love and the joy and the peace. But if you surrender today, you can start feeling it. And just do not allow the fear to come into your life.
Absolutely. This is so true because this is what I've been living by. And the peace that I feel is incredible. Never, ever in my life, all these years, never have I been so... The funny thing is that we have all these plans, but you're kind of like uncertain, right? Because you're not there yet. So to have such uncertainty and yet still have such peace, that's the thing.
And faith.
And what's funny is that we just had an episode that was called Let Go and Let God. And that one was really more talking about like dating and choosing a partner and all that. And I feel like what we're talking about today is still totally a God thing, but it's so much more, it's about you and it's about your life. And it's never too late for you to get on the path that you feel called to be on. It's never too late to say, I don't like this. And, I'll tell you, the last corporate job that I was in, I remember asking myself the question because I was there for almost a year, and I remember feeling like it's pulling me away from what I want. I'm going in the wrong direction. And I remember sitting down and I said, is this bringing me closer to who I am and what I want for my life, or is it pulling me further away? And if you ask that question of anything in your life, is it bringing you closer or is it pulling you further away? Now, it's a scary question to ask if you're afraid to actually follow through with if the answer is no. If the answer is no, this is not bringing me closer, whether it's closer to God, closer to the career, closer to who you want to be, closer to the outcome you want for your life. And it could be in a relationship that you're in. Is the relationship fulfilling? Is it bringing you happiness and joy? Or does it bring you stress and, like Julz would say, suck all the creamy goodness out of you? So there's so many things. I feel like we don't ask questions that we already know the answer to because we're afraid to actually have to do the thing. So I think this episode took a very quick turn from what it was supposed
really
to be
did.
about.
I'm fascinated.
I am fascinated.
I
too.
love it.
I love it. And we're going to go with it. But from what the next episode that we record will be the topic that it was supposed to be. But we just started going on this rant.
I think we had to.
I think we had to too.
It's
but
what God
really,
wanted us to talk about today.
I absolutely believe if you sit down with nobody around you and really be still with you and the big guy, right? Just sit down and be quiet and have a notebook there if you want so that you can journal and take some notes, but literally ask yourself the question, am I where I'm supposed to be? Am I surrounded by the people that I'm supposed to be surrounded by? Am I in relationship with X, Y, or Z, however you want to say it and however you want to express yourself, because God knows what you're trying to say. But for me, I absolutely ask that question. And when I get the answer, I take action and I quit that job. That job, I knew it was not for me.
She wanted to stay a year, and I had committed. I was there with her. I had committed to staying with her until then. But man, I woke up one day and I was like, I can't do this.
Yep.
And I was really tortured by it. But God parted the Red Sea.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say, because we both were feeling like this is not it.
I was so miserable.
But what happened was all of these things, they fell into place. We didn't plan them.
Nope.
But the way things fell into place, it was like very, very clear. It was clear confirmation that it's time to go.
Yeah, I asked God. I was like, I'm so miserable, and I'm just going to trust you, and I'm going to be still until I have a clear answer from you. And I got it. It was almost like 3 years ago when I had gotten fatter than I had ever been. And I asked God, I'd heard all these things, like use scripture to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. And so I started praying to God. I was like, I'm just so unhappy and I'm not confident. And I hated the way I looked in pictures. I wanted to wear muumuu dresses. And I prayed and asked God to help me. And I'm not saying that he's going to do this for you, but I got a diagnosis of diabetes. Now, was it extreme?
Preferably not.
No, just it was, and it was type 2. So I was able to, reverse it. Now, once diagnosed, you're always a diabetic, but I'm in remission and my numbers are lower than they've been ever. And I've had some ice cream here and there. Now I've put on a couple of pounds because my numbers are good, but I'm back on it. So
yeah,
the deal is that you can make a decision today to do what it is you want to do. I'm not telling you to be irresponsible. You've still got to feed your kids. You've got to pay your mortgage. You've got to do those things, but start working towards the thing that is inside of you, because that is your assignment. I studied music all my life growing up. I was classically trained. I loved to write. I started writing music when I was 16 years old. I wrote some jingles. I recorded them. I've got about 200 songs that I've written. And that was kind of a passion that I had. But I let that window close. But I still write, and I've got some songs, and that's coming up too. I've got my book. I've got about 4 songs that I want to record. I'm using an app to overlay the instruments over it, and I'm going to start posting those on YouTube. And I don't know, maybe Kelly Clarkson or Carrie Underwood or somebody awesome will like one of my songs and they'll record it. They tell stories too.
See, what would be really cool, because all of these things that we're doing now, we're just going to do them and we're going to speak them and we're going to post them and and so what would be really cool is we look back on this video that we're recording right now. Yeah. This is 2025. It's July of 2025 that when we're recording this. It's probably going to be posted in August. But the point is, when we look back to this, which might be a couple of years from now,
it's okay.
And we will be reminded of all the things that we've talked about right now that will already be in existence, and the relationships that will come into our life. And who knows, maybe it will be Kelly Clarkson or Carrie Underwood. I absolutely love them both. So if they ever watch this.
Hi! I have some really incredible songs
Yes,
that I
this would
love
be
for
incredible.
one of you, because I know your heart and soul would be in them, and they do just tell incredible stories.
And you know what? We're talking about this, and it might sound a little crazy, but the reality is a lot of musicians have been discovered from YouTube.
Oh yeah,
A lot of people.
My eldest son, he's a race car driver, and my mom was always a big supporter of my dreams and what I wanted to do. And I would tell her these things I wanted to do. And she'd be like, somebody's got to do it. It might as well be you. Now, I feel like I took a different posture with my son, because his soul would just go dark, and he would get so depressed if he wasn't in some form of a race car. And I just told him, I said, you wait tables, you take surveys, you do whatever it does to just give you enough money to stay focused on your dream. And now he's a chief driving instructor at a big racetrack here in the town that it's not here in Dallas, but it's in this area. He goes and he races GT4 Pirelli. He's won championships, and you can make it come true.
Yes,
you can.
No
just
matter,
do it.
No matter what it is. I'm telling you that it's funny. I was having a conversation with another friend of mine. This was just the other day, and she is trying to make a decision. She wants to quit her corporate job that she's been at for 20 years, and I feel like I was coaching her through it. Same thing. It's like, there's so much fear around detaching yourself. And what's interesting is that you're led to believe that you can't survive.
Yep.
That you have to, be stuck to the matrix. That you have to hold on to the corporate job. And it's interesting, as if you can't function in any other way. But there are so many things that you can do to earn a living. There are so many things that you can do on your own creatively. I mean, we were talking about some lady in Dallas, I think she's in Dallas, that created an entire multi-million-dollar business out of pumpkins.
Yes.
And we were like, well,
What?
good God, if she can do that, if she
Good
can
on
do
you,
that,
sister.
then we could do,
I'm proud of you.
We are super creative.
And I love pumpkins.
Yes, we're super creative. We're super resourceful. There are so many things. And what she's doing is beautiful work.
It's gorgeous.
It is absolute. Shout out to the lady. I don't know her name.
I don't either.
Shout out to the lady. She does amazing work. But I also had a friend in right out of college, and he created a dog walking business. Now, this was way back in the day, like 25 years ago, before it was really a thing. And he did a dog walking and a house sitting business. He did that by himself for the first couple years, and then he started hiring employees because he had so much business. And they started walking dogs for him and house sitting and checking in on stuff. I'm telling you, if you allow yourself to open your brain, and I'm going to tell y'all what I told to her. Robert Kiyosaki, I think I'm saying his name right. He did an interview, and he was talking about how, I can't believe we got to this topic, because we weren't even talking about this. But
it's so cool.
What he was talking about, which I absolutely firmly believe, is that you are led to believe that we have to be like these corporate robots.
Yep.
That we have to be attached to this corporation to live. And what he said is, the minute you start taking a paycheck, the minute you're a W-2 employee, your creativity shuts off. Your brain is now in, almost like this, dependency mode to the company, and the company will tell you how much you're going to earn. They will tell you the hours that you're going to work. They will tell you how much time you can spend with your family, where you can travel. Literally, there is so much restriction, limitation, and control in corporations.
And there's no loyalty.
And there's absolutely no loyalty.
They don't care about your health. I mean, I'm thankful for the jobs that I've had. And
of course.
I'm thankful for the paychecks that I've had. And I am. I'm not trying to... Anyway, go ahead.
Look, there's a season for everything is what my point is. There's a season for everything. I have been a part of corporate America for many, many years, and I had great jobs, and I made great money.
And I wouldn't have met Betty without it.
Yeah,
so
we wouldn't
I
have.
am.
So
that was the purpose.
Season.
That was
a
the reason.
big, absolutely, and I believe that. But what I'm saying to you is, because I have felt the feeling, when you're in a job and you start asking yourself, this can't be it for me, and you are miserable going to work, that is not God's best for you. That is not what your life is supposed to be when you're feeling like, you know, you're slowly dying in a corporate office, in a corporate boardroom. That is not what it's supposed to be. So what we're saying is, you know, a little open your mind up to the possibility of really surrendering, of the possibility of something else coming into your life, but at the same time you have to let go of the death grip that you have, which is what I had to do. I had to let go of this death grip. I was a workaholic. I was, for me, I just wanted to control everything. I was a control freak. I was a workaholic. I was constantly doing.
You were in your masculine.
Yes. And
yeah.
and the most important part was that I wasn't being still and I wasn't listening. No. And that's the part that we're trying to say is, it's not too late. You can if you feel a nudge, if you feel like, you know, something doesn't feel quite right, if you feel like your life isn't fulfilling, because that's what it was for me. I was making all this money, but I was so miserable. I know. I wasn't even living.
Sometimes you don't even know that you're miserable.
Yeah.
That's what Zach was telling me. He was saying, Mom, there is absolutely no reason for you not to have your songs on YouTube. The only thing holding you back is you. And that dream has not passed. Now, I'm not going to go on tour. I don't want to do that. I don't need to be on stage. Nobody wants to see a grandma up there.
That's not true. People want to see a grandma on stage.
Okay, well, maybe I will be on stage.
Maybe she will. Because
we're going to have some events coming up in the future.
Yeah, and
I'm
so
manifesting, and I will get up and sing.
That's what
some of my songs.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's how you're heard. But these are the things that we want to do, because for me, regardless of how it looks today, I know that I'm supposed to make a positive impact on the world.
Me too.
That's the
thing
that I know for sure. When I was a little kid, I remember feeling like I was having these conversations with God. And I remember feeling like, I'm meant to do something.
Me too, Betty. When I was little.
Yes.
When I was little.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you something else. I think a lot of people believe, and I'm involved in a networking group at my church, and about 500 people go to it, and it's just amazing, the energy in this room. And the pastor got up this last time I went, and he was talking about how people have a misconception about money. Like, they feel like it's a sin to ask God for wealth.
Yeah. Which is not true.
It's not true. And especially if you ask God for wealth so you can build his kingdom and help other people. Because I really don't need much of anything else in my life. I would like to travel. I mean, I would like to have my car paid off. There's some things, but honestly, I'm with what I have, and all we need to do is focus on this day and be thankful for what we have today, because we don't know about tomorrow, and the past is over there. And so really, I'm quite blessed in what I have on this day. So I have switched my prayers around, and nothing would change. I wouldn't go buy a bigger house. I would pour my money into this.
Yes, that's the thing, because I completely agree. Everything changed for me, where back in the day I wanted to make all this money for me.
Right.
And you're right.
Yeah.
Everything has changed to I want to make a bunch of money, but it's because I can have a bigger impact.
Right.
And bless other people.
Exactly.
And so things have changed so much over the years. And you know what? You have to have those experiences to be able to kind of have that switch in your mind to be like, wait, I had it all wrong. What was I doing? That's not what I was supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing this. So I don't know how this happened, how we got to this topic, but what I'm going to say...
And our time already went off, but I want to keep talking for a few more minutes, because I'm not done.
But everything was everything that you think is supposed to be, everything that you are second guessing, or whatever the case is in your life, my big message today from this whole thing is it's never too late. Mm-mm. It's never too late. And if it doesn't feel like you're going in the wrong direction, if it doesn't feel like you're not heading in the right direction, it's okay. You can change it.
Always.
You can change it. And
you have the right.
Yes, you do.
To change it.
And people have this negative thing about change. We actually love change. I think change is great. And I know it can be scary, but I also think that there's something really amazing and rewarding when you're willing to do scary, when you're willing to feel the fear and do it anyway.
Do it scared.
Do it scared.
And listen, here's another message that I got the other day at church. Fear is the opposite of love. If you surrender and you've got that love and faith, the fear just dissipates like vapor. I mean, I really have an aversion and a fear of picking up the phone and calling someone who's asking for information because I'm afraid they're going to hang. I had to call some leads this morning, and I said, nope, get thee behind me, Satan, in the name of Jesus. I picked the phone up. They didn't answer the phone. I left them some messages, told them how much I would love the opportunity to meet them, and maybe they would pick me to work with them. Maybe not. No pressure. I would just love an opportunity to serve them. That's it.
But you know what? You did the thing. And I think what's really important is everybody is so concerned about the outcome that you don't do the thing.
You don't focus on
but
the
you
action.
have to do, exactly, focus on the action, do the thing, because the result will come. And maybe it's not with that phone call, but you made yourself do it. So the next one will be easier.
Yep.
And so maybe what is the people, because nothing that is meant for you, you won't miss it.
No.
If it's meant for you, it's already earmarked for you. You can't miss it. You can't. And when we think that we're behind, it wasn't the right time. And our timing is not God's timing.
No.
So we need to just get out of the way.
Well, and that's the other thing that's really interesting to me is like now writing this book has started just flowing out of me. But I think it's because of these conversations. And I had all these notebooks with things written in them, but it's such a big subject that I would get lost. It was like an ocean of darkness.
Be overwhelmed.
It was overwhelmed. So I started recording it in my notes on my phone and then transferring it into my documents on my Mac. And then I can go and edit real easily. And I'm just having so much fun. But it's because of this. And the first step is always the hardest.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's like, oh my God, what are people going to think?
Yeah.
And are they going to think I'm crazy because I'm talking about all this dysfunction that was in my life? And that's the key, because you can always turn anything around. And what I want is for whatever childhood trauma you've got, whatever root is inside of you that is causing so much pain, and you're wondering, why don't things ever work out for me? Whatever happened to you is not here anymore, but you're letting it be here. So we can get well and we can change the world. We really can.
It really is one person at a time. It is the whole like changing the world one person at a time. That's actually true, because when every person is able to ask that and like inward, right? Inward focus. And the other thing that she just said that is a really, really big deal. Why are we so concerned with everybody else's opinion? Who cares? I mean, that was me too. I used to be too. But now, who cares? Why have we put so much on that?
I don't know.
Why have we let invisible faces?
Because we just are dripped on constantly about what we should be and what we
That's
should
true.
look
That's
like.
true.
And most of it's fake anyway.
Right,
So
it is.
You're seeing us exactly how we are in real life.
Yeah. This
No
is exactly how we
filters,
are.
no
and
nothing.
today we're fumbling through that. It's funny because the topic is completely different, but this is what's flowing out of us so much easier, because I guess it's what we were meant to talk about. But the reality is we don't have to worry. You know, I don't worry about being judged anymore. I don't worry about people's opinions. I don't worry about.
I can't help it.
Who cares? Yeah. And
I don't have any control.
You don't
over
them.
No, I don't. Y'all go over there and do that. I know that I've been married and divorced 4 times and married again. My husband knows. Bette knows. She loves me. I've got other friends who know all my bag of crap that I've lugged around, and they still think I'm cool. And that's all I need.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I'll tell you something personally. I would rather have 10 of Julz than 10 people that have never lived.
I love you so much.
Oh, I love you too. It's true, because there are people that want to appear to be, you know, like sin-free, blemish-free.
They're not.
No, nobody is
They're
perfect.
not.
And so I would rather have somebody who is willing to just spill it, and let's talk about it, and let's
be real.
And let's be real,
Yeah.
and let me learn from it. And there is so much wisdom, and there's actually more love and grace that I would give her than somebody who is arrogant and pretends like they have no flaws, because that's BS. That's BS. I don't want that. I don't even want people like that in my life at all.
One time I told somebody, and she knows who she is if she's ever listening to this. I'm probably going to call her and tell her to listen to this. But we were on a work trip, sharing a room. And, I always kind of dip my toe in the pool and I'd be like, I want to tell you something. I'm getting my 4th divorce. And people have different reactions. But this particular gal, her eyes got big and her jaw dropped. And she went, how did you get 4 guys to ask you to marry them? It was my cooking. I don't know how I did it. I don't know. I just had a gift, I guess. They were it was not a good fit.
You know what? If we want to, that's a really good point, though.
4 years.
But listen, it's true. That's a very good point, because there are a lot of people that are a lot of single women that want to be married that have never been married and have never been proposed to. So actually, this is a very positive thing. You managed to do it.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
it can happen.
It can happen.
Never settle, though.
Never settle. Yeah,
never
totally.
settle.
Never
and
settle.
I really don't want you to get 4 divorces. That's
that's not the point. That was
we
not.
We want you to be a girl that's so confident and happy that it makes it difficult for a man to date you. And that's another topic that we've got coming
That's another
up, and
topic.
We're really excited about it because it's her.
Yeah.
It's me when I met Jay, but it's her
now.
And so when you get to that place, you can be real picky.
Yes, and we're also going to say, just to not to leave out the women that don't want to be married.
Yeah.
If you never want to get married, that's okay too.
Yes.
But you should be living from a place of power and from abundance and positivity and confidence. So that's all we're saying. It's really coming from that place.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to get married
No
if you don't
way.
want to get married.
No.
But for those that do want to get married, I would venture to say that if you do want to get married and you're not married yet, which I'm talking to myself, there are some things that you have to peel back and learn about yourself first before you go jumping in the dating pool and making a mess out of it because you weren't clear about who you are and what you want.
That dating landscape is crazy now. I don't know. You've really got to go in there with your eyes wide open and really exercise caution.
Well, and I just talked to Julz about, I'm on the dating apps and I always talk about this. So I'm on a couple dating apps and there were a couple conversations that were happening. And right before we started recording, I was telling Julz, because I am much more clear. I'm much more clear. And I was telling Julz, some of the responses that I was getting don't line up with what I want in a husband and what I want for my future. And so these are the times where you have to be so confident and very, I communicate with grace and respect, but I'm not going to entertain a conversation or, something that I know can end in a matter of the first or second or third text. I'm not going to let that turn into 2 or 3 or 4 years of my life. Absolutely not.
No.
So, when you are clear and you are intentional and you know what you're looking for, you know who you are and you know what's aligned with you, it's so much easier to have the conversation and to say, I'm so sorry, this doesn't align with what I'm looking for, but I wish you well, and I hope you find what you're looking for. That happens so much easier when you come from that place.
Well, and you're not ghosting, you're not being a rear end about it, you're just being your authentic self. And there is a lot of respect and character and dignity associated with being that way. So we got to wrap this up.
This
was fun.
And this took some twisty, turny roads, but at the end of the day, I'm going to say that this is really all about never settling, and it's never too late.
Live your life with abundance. And abundance is all different things.
All different things.
So we love you.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. We are so appreciative of you supporting our channel. Make sure you share it with friends. We want more people to find out about it. We just posted recently, last Monday. We drop new episodes every Monday, and it's so exciting to see our library grow. And so refer it to your friends if there's an episode that you love that you think I think they're all awesome. Every time I post a new one, it's my new favorite. So
I know. I
share
love the
all
one
of
we
them.
just dropped this week.
Yes.
It was so good.
Share all of them.
And we're working on getting this also put on some podcast platforms.
Yes,
also.
it will be on Spotify
So,
soon. It will be. You will catch it on there soon. So we are just so grateful for those of you that are watching. Please share it. Continue to support our channel and watch us grow, because there's more coming and we're excited about it.
Yeah.
And if you have any comments, feedback, if there's any topics that you want us to talk about, you can put it in the comment section below, or you can always send us an email that we will personally respond to. hello@bettyandjulz.com, BETTE.
And I'm JULZ.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Dream big.
Bye.